Hey, Blade, talking about Seabed the Hatch. Man, I really like that upper area, by the way. That looks really, really good. Is that just like HDR? Why is it so bright? Or is it just like a really bright light? I guess it's just a really bright light. Oh, you probably have like the glowing texture. Ooh, that looked kind of cool. That single frame of seeing that. Okay, let me actually talk about... Oh, is it intentional that you're able to get up here? I assume so because you can get up here. It just seemed kind of tall. When you're actually defending the hatch, I really like that you can see like the giants coming across here, but this isn't really the best defense spot, so you have to try to kind of find ways to like shoot behind them a little bit here, and that's really interesting. I really like defending from over here, and then we had like our engineer hovering up around here, and we're always trying to like take down the bosses, which is like difficult to take down through here. And I feel like you probably don't want to have like a hatch or I mean like a grate or glass on top of here, just because that kind of would not fit the aesthetic so much. But I do kind of think that you should like try to find a way to have some sort of design on the floor coming around to the hatch a little bit easier, just so you kind of like subconsciously, if you don't, like let's say a noob is standing here, they kind of don't really realize that there is a path, like the major path coming through here and ending up over here. I'm sure you have like some general idea of maybe of how you wanted to design that, or maybe you just think it like it's fine, and I think I kind of would agree that maybe it's fine, but I think having like some sort of like insignia right here, something on the floor, just kind of generally hinting that there's something there. I guess that's what the hazard strip does, right? Like it kind of like suggests that, but I only just realized that the hazard strip kind of suggests that that's the end of like an actual thing, not just the wall. So I kind of figure like this should like jump in a little bit. Sorry, I burped. But that kind of goes against the design of this, unless you wanted to like pull this out a little bit more, but then that goes against the design of all this, and it's all like kind of messy. Actually, is that like out a little bit from the wall? Maybe you wouldn't mind dipping it in a little bit, and just so that like people kind of realize, oh, there's like a route under here. Alternatively, I was thinking too, maybe you can like pull some like chunk out of here and make it just like a slippy slide that goes down through here, just like for design or whatever, just like to have that. But then also when you're standing here, you kind of like would subconsciously, when you're like trying to get ammo, see this like slippy slide hatch thing. You just like slippy slide down here. You can easily get back up from the pipes if you really needed to, but it would also just kind of alert you to the presence of this like drop down. There's ammo here. I seriously never noticed that there was ammo there. I'm sure like the demo men and stuff noticed that there's ammo here. Maybe put like a focal point on here, like light, or like a phantom light. I do like the moodiness of this lighting a lot, by the way, but yeah, I never really noticed this was here. Do you want to do something like underneath this grate? How far does this go down? It's like an actual room. Interesting. But yeah, I think like just kind of alerting subconsciously that there's like an area down here. Actually, that would probably help if the slippy slide hatch opening was here. This ledge would be pulled back and you'd see that there's like a large ammo pack there easier. Like from this position, you'd be able to see that is there. I feel like that would help like twofold, right? So like you'd just go, oh, there's a large here if I really needed it, you know, to fill up my sticky bomb launcher or whatever. I do notice that this is a little bit tricky to jump on if I turn this on. I don't know, what's the difficulty of it? I think it's just like slipping off the 45-degree angle there. I wonder if you want to like put like some little ledge here, kind of like extend this out just a little bit. I don't know, you know. It's just the slipping off of this is what's kind of bugging me. Unless you want to like pull this inwards a little bit more. Can I do one? Would that make it less confusing? It's a little bit harder to see, but like pull this inwards a little bit just so that this becomes like a less than a 45-degree slope, so that I can actually stand on that instead of being slipping off of it. I don't know. I just feel like this is like the best route to get back onto the hatch. You know what I mean, right? So I think it should be like really, really easy to jump. And I've just gotten stuck on that, or slipped off of it enough times. hasn't been happening on camera, of course, but like enough times where it's like, maybe look into it. Yeah, I really like that though. And I'll just mention it here again, but because I already mentioned it in the text feedback, but I do think that you can probably enclose this whole thing with like glass somehow, or like a fence or something, or just like enough glass or something, just because it's confusing. Standing here, you're like, holy shit, this map is confusing. But if it was all glass up there, you're like, oh, it probably continues on this way or something. And same over here, like, you could say, oh, it's nice to have this fence here because you can like defend this part, which you really shouldn't be defending from the hatch from, unless that is just like intentionally designed that way. I'm squinting right now, like, is it really you intentionally designed that? I'm just saying that because like, instead of going over here, you could just like go through here and you're basically at the exact same position, so there isn't really a necessity to have this open up here, and it just kind of adds to the confusion. I just remember especially like, or you could say, oh, that's there because then I could jump up and quickly defend the hatch from any like super scouts that are going past or whatever, or just regular scouts that are going past. But if that was closed off, I would just kind of assume that this also leads up to the hatch, up through here, right? Maybe a pro could do that in one jump. I don't know. I just think that it adds too much to the complexity of the map, especially like jumping through here and then realizing you just kind of skipped over a lot of the map. It kind of makes the map a little bit too non-linear and just makes it feel a little bit too confusing. So I think blocking this off will kind of make it feel more like a snake rather than some weird complex structure. You know what I mean. Yeah, okay, that's all I have to say. So, thanks for watching.